Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Az. How are you, brother?
Hey, man, I'm good. How was your trip?
Yeah, good, mate. Very good. Good to be back.
Good to hear your voice.
What's been happening? Sorry, let me just say good morning to the big man here.
Good morning. Is it welcome back, Fred? Is it happy birthday to Ori today?
Yeah, happy birthday, Ori, buddy.
Ori, happy birthday, bud.
buddy.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, your voice.
Happy
great.
birthday.
Is it Miles and Ori?
Was it Miles today too?
I thought it was both on the same day, but I thought it was like not today. It's like the 14th or something. No? Because I'm sure we talked about this yesterday. And, I can't remember.
Yeah, I got confused if it was Miles on the day after Ori and Ori was first, or if they're both on the same day.
Are any of them here to confirm?
Miles number 30. Miles tomorrow.
Okay, so Ori is today and Miles tomorrow.
Yep. It's in the calendar.
Beautiful. How was your awakening experience on your trip, Fred?
Amazing, bro. Such a good trip. Such a good trip. Didn't really enjoy Sicily as much as I thought I would.
Interesting.
Don't like it. Yeah, don't like it. We went to a place called Taormina. That was quite cool. But Spain's epic. Spain is absolutely epic.
I've never heard a bad report on Spain.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we went to Valencia, which is a bit different to Barcelona. And I actually think I like Valencia more than Barcelona. Cleaner, safer, less people, not as kind of populated, just an epic city. But all in all, it was good. I'm rested. Pumped to get back.
You're back, Freddie.
Beautiful.
Welcome back.
I'm back. Who's that? Joe.
It's Joe. Yeah, what's up?
Joe, buongiorno, brother. How are you?
You're
When are
well
you? Aren't you here soon?
I say yeah. No, I'm planning on coming over. Don't worry, it's in the works. It's in the works.
I thought we locked it in. What's going on?
No, we haven't locked it in yet.
Oh,
but it's
mate.
in the work. In the
Pull
works.
your
You've
finger.
been away.
Let's
You've
go.
been away, Fred. Everything's fallen apart.
Need some stability.
Don't you worry, I'm back. Don't you worry, I'm back.
Fred is back
Team...
and enlightened and ready to go.
Yeah, I'm pumped. It was so good, man.
Man,
just nice to be in some warm weather.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I'm very fortunate. That's why I chose to live in Bali, to be honest. I just the cold weather scenario back in Australia's winters, like, I mean, they're not like ridiculously cold, but it's cold enough. It's raining all the time. It's cloudy and gloomy all the time. I need sun pretty much all the time.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same. So we've kind of decided, myself and my wife, that we want to move to Mallorca eventually. We didn't go to Mallorca this trip, but I have been to like Palma and Mallorca a few times. I think that's where we'll eventually probably move to.
Whereabouts is that?
It's just the island next to Ibiza, bit bigger.
Oh,
You want easy access to Ibiza?
Ibiza is incredible, man. It's like an adult's playground, isn't it? It's like, oh man, that place will chew you up and spit you the fuck out, and you won't even know what happened like a week later. Once we left Ibiza, I was like, God, I'm so glad we're going somewhere else, or else I'll be coming back in a fucking coffin.
Nice. The way to do it.
Man, one of those things where it's like you start on Monday, and then all of a sudden it's Monday again, and you have very little recollection of what happened in the last week.
Bro, something goes on every single night. Monday they've got a thing,
man.
all the way to Sunday. Sunday night was like probably the biggest party of the week. We went to a party called Wu Moon at a place called Cova Santa. which is this like little outdoor venue. Fucking incredible, good music, cool people, just like right up my alley. I love it.
Yeah. Sounds delightful.
Is Team Singapore joining us?
I know Ran isn't. I don't know about the rest.
Okay, I don't think Ori is either. And Miles? Sheldon? Are they all in Singapore?
Miles
No.
is filming and traveling. He said,
Sheldon's still flying.
He's still flying. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
left
gets-
yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, he gets there 2 p.m. today.
Yeah.
Is our 2 p.m. or their 2 p.m.? Because their 2 p.m. probably like now.
I think, I don't know. Yeah, no idea.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good to chat to you all again. How has everything
Ran.
been? Give me a little update. Well, what have I missed?
What's up, Fred?
Who's that? Is that Fefe?
It's fair.
Hey, my
Fair.
brother, how are you?
You've been on my side of the world, and then when you've been here, I wasn't here, and now you're not here, and I'm here. All good, man.
I know. I missed you.
How did you like Europe? Huh?
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I don't know. I think I've had such a lack of sunshine for so long. I mean, we've had the worst winter in probably about 15, 20 years.
Yeah, that took like what, 3 months and 20,
you just get
15
like,
degrees.
You just get like 2-3 days of good weather, nice beaches, and it's just like I want to move to New York now. You know, so, I don't know. Let's have another summer in Cape Town. See how I feel.
You know what, John? You know what they say? You know nothing about winter, Jon Snow. You know, it's like, fuck, dude, like winter in Cape Town was like a great spring weather here in Europe. You know.
But you were here for the worst winter in 2 decades.
Shit, it was
I'm
horrendous.
hoping it's followed by the best summer in 2 decades. But
gotta see that as well. Gotta see that as well.
we
Fellas,
have good summers anyway.
The way you avoid that is living in a place that has no winter.
Where do you live in Bali?
Canggu.
Yeah, man, we've stayed 2 months, 3 months. I want to go back. I want to go back to Bali to live there. The
Yeah, we were
internet
there
was
last year. I
horrible.
also love it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
internet's pretty average, but it is getting better.
Yeah, but also
which-
it became like very, very way too touristy and stuff like that.
Oh man, it's like the latest research that I've done is Bali is now, I think it's either number 1 or number 2 for digital nomads in the world.
Yeah. I was looking at
Um,
Lombok after the earthquakes. I was there in 2018 when the whole shit show happened with the volcano and the earthquake. And I was looking at Lombok is building up pretty nicely. I've got friends there, so I was looking at where they're going.
Yeah,
to
Lombok is starting to get a fair bit of investment into the land side of things, actually.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, they are considering building an international airport there as well, so you can fly direct to Lombok.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's amazing.
Yeah, so land's starting to get pretty snapped up there because Bali, well, this area anyways, it's pretty saturated now. I mean, it's just, even through COVID, the amount of building that was going on was just mind blowing.
Guys, is there
Yeah.
a show today?
Ran did is like assume there's a show, so we'll be preparing as normal for a show. We just don't know if there is going to be a show.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure on
Great,
that
well-
on that message, if that was a cryptic message or not.
I've been very disconnected from the market. So, Joe, I don't know if you want to. What's been happening in the world of?
Actually, wait, what
in
day
the
did
world
you
of
leave?
crypto?
Let's see what price it was when you left. You left on the
I left the day before it pumped, and then it just basically
well,
dumped
yeah.
until I arrived back.
The
So I
price
arrived back
was
when it pumped, and I left,
25.9.
and then it pumped.
Now 25.7. So yeah,
Okay.
that sort of explains it.
Exciting.
We
Good
had a
time to
pretty
take a holiday.
decent.
Isn't it crazy if you were like just watching the price for the last week and it's barely like moved at all? Instead,
That's
Fred
what-
just took a trip to Ibiza.
The only price I've been
Yeah.
watching for the last 2 weeks is Sol.
Oh yeah, you're very interested in Solana.
Yeah, it's going
I
to be
saw your
my
tweet.
moon bag for the next cycle. Okay, so
We had a move down last night, and then it actually got retraced pretty aggressively.
man, the sentiment's been in the fucking
So bad.
gutter, so bad. The worst I think I've ever seen.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So bad.
terrible.
But it just shows you, like when we broke below that 25.6, which was the key level, we kind of went down quite aggressively towards 25k, held 25k, and now we're back up to where we were before the move down yesterday. So yeah, just choppy markets.
I mean,
nothing happening.
the interesting thing about the scenario is that like the sentiment is absolutely, I mean, it's getting pretty close to ground zero.
Yeah, it's
And
Yeah.
horrible.
every single time it's touching 25, it's just getting bought up.
I don't
instantly.
think the worst is over. I think as far as sentiment goes, I think if it goes any lower, it won't be like a bleed. I think anything below 25 would be happen over a period of like a week or 2 weeks. Would be quite quick before it's back above.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
It'd be
quite
like-
quick as well.
Yeah. And what's happening today?
Just depends how low we actually go. Like the support, like there isn't a lot of support from 24.8 until 20k, really.
Well, I'm ready.
I mean,
I'm starting to get pretty interested at these levels. Like as
I
far
mean,
as
we'll see,
DCAing, like de-breaking my DCAing up into like starting at 33%. I think this is where I'd start my first. Well, anything below 25.
I mean, yeah.
I'd deploy
Eric
my
Brown
first
has just been
33.
on the same path for the last week and a half. He's got pretty good analysis as well. Basically, so long as we can go sideways here and not violate those June lows, for even if it's like if we in the next 2 or 3 days are still at this same level and we haven't violated these lows, then he's actually pretty bullish for an uptick. But the next couple of days, he said, are super critical.
Yep. I suppose let's think with the rand show
what's
in
the
mind.
big stories? Yeah. I see he says assume as it shows. What's the big stories today?
So Gary Gensler has his meeting at the Senate today. Today. He's still very very bullish on his stance that the United States should control all of crypto. So he's not.
Is it a
he's not
crypto
budging
related
on that.
meeting?
It is. SEC Gary Gensler to hold firm on crypto enforcement in Senate hearing.
Okay, it's today. Interesting.
So that's today at the Senate Banking Committee hearing.
Okay, nice.
What time is that kicking off?
I presume it's like 11 a.m. Eastern or something. So
yeah,
4 or 5
we'll see if I've got the time in here. So far, this article just says it's on the 12th. No time. I'll be able to find a time for that though.
The banana token launch last night was just the
What a
epitome of
flop.
crypto. Just crypto in a nutshell.
Never a sure thing in crypto, eh?
Such a basic. Well, they lied twice. They said that they did 2 audits. They clearly didn't if they had that issue. And then they said that all of their pre-sales, all of the people that they offered pre-sales to all said yes. And then this big Twitter account came out and said, no, I literally said no to you. I didn't want any of your pre-sale tokens. So they've lied twice. So the trust there is kind of gone. Yeah, it'll probably do well when it relaunches and blah, blah, blah. But oh my God, the community is completely finished and such a mess up. But it was quite good for Unibot. I saw it did quite well. And I know that they are planning, if they had a full couple of announcements, plans to actually try and steal market share back during this banana token launch. But now that's completely failed. But they're still going to roll out these new updates.
Joe,
so,
can
yeah.
you give us a TLDR on what happened? I wasn't following.
Basically, this banana gun token was like this new hyped bot token. Yeah, the Telegram bots are doing quite well. And it was the reason why Unibot went from like 160 down to 50. People just want to get in on the new shiny product. They launched a pre-sale. They raised like 800 ETH. They did all this sort of. They're playing it all by the book and did it quite impressively. And actually, their launch was seriously impressive. Without the issue that they had. And then they ended up. There was actually an issue in the contract that if you had 100, I think it was if you had, like, for example, 100 banana gun tokens and you tried to sell, the tax wouldn't go to the tax wallet. It would actually stay in your balance. So if you sold 100 tokens, you'd still have the tax amount left in your wallet. So they weren't making any money off it or something like that. And
Okay.
then the deployer had to sell all the tokens. It went to 0. And now they're basically relaunching and airdropping the rest of the token balance to whoever had tokens at that snapshot time, which is like a minute or two before the deployer sold. So yeah,
so
literally
that second launch is going to be an absolute shit show.
yeah, it's not worth even playing in because it's hard to kind of see how people will react. Or so I wouldn't touch it.
No, and more than likely, if they do it that way, like having a fair amount of experience in the shitty coin space, watching relaunches and all the rest of it, the only way to guarantee a smooth launch on a relaunch is if they put some form of vesting schedule in place or max sale transactions in place to make sure that everyone that's getting airdrop just can't massively dump, which is going to cause disgruntled investors at the same time. Like, yeah, it's a shit. It really is a shit show. Like you're just playing catch up now and trying to put out spot fires by creating another fire, really. So
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No, it's not.
But some of the tweets were so funny, and it was good entertainment last night. But God, it just wasn't. It's just a bad look. Like it literally 70, 80 million FTV to 0. Yes, it means nothing because they took snapshots and they're going to airdrop everything. But it's just not a. It's not a good look. Such a simple mistake in the contract. For probably the most.
No, I mean they were
hyped launch of
saying
the
that
year.
they were saying that they were audited by Certic, right?
No, they didn't officially say that. They said they got 2 audits,
okay.
but they didn't officially say
yeah.
that. But clearly they didn't. How can you throw a
No,
piece
you
of
can't.
code into ChatGPT and they will show you the issue with it, and an auditor can't? Yeah, it's finished.
Yeah, no. Very, very unlikely that they got properly audited. Because I mean, like that's like the most basic code malfunction in the world, honestly.
But Unibot went from $50 to $80 after it. So
yeah, man. So I told you that $40 to $60 Unibot range was correct.
Nearly doubled. Well, not doubled, but yeah. So yeah, that was the major story from last night. But I just don't think Ran would be too interested in. He'll definitely talk about it, but I don't think he'll be too interested in doing it as a.
I think he wants to focus more on like capitulation. I guess where we are in the cycle, symptoms, signals of capitulation. There's obviously, I mean, did you guys discuss tomorrow's the September 13th, the potential FTX kind of liquidation process? Don't really know what you guys have discussed around that. What's your thoughts? I guess the idea is like the overarching theme would be capitulation from a kind of sentiment, emotional standpoint, from these like liquidations. Where are we in the cycle? I guess we want to find a few things around, why this is probably the best risk reward phase in the market.
Yeah, we're in time-based capitulation, not price-based at the moment. Yeah, the FTX thing is tomorrow, but it's a hearing. I think the decision will be actually tomorrow. It's not like a 2-day or 3-day thing. But it's tough to say.
We've got the quadruple witching happening in 2 days as well.
Oh yeah, Eric Crown keeps talking about that.
Yeah. So basically that is a simultaneous expiration of stock index futures, stock index options, stock options, and single stock future derivative contracts 4 times a year. So we've got that in 2 days as well.
Suppose we'll go back and see what happens to markets when that happens. I think it's quite a negative thing.
Yeah, coupled with the CPI and PPI that's going to be coming out.
Which day CPI?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, big drop. What's the expectations?
And then we've got
to the previous print.
I mean,
Three-
it's just really interesting that all of this FTX stuff is unlocking on the exact same day that we're going to be
I know.
having the CPI and PPI and the quadruple witching. Like it's all lining up for like. I mean, honestly, if we get through this, like if you want capitulation news, there's tons of it.
Just so you know, the
what's
unlocks are not confirmed yet, and it's gonna be vested for the next 4-5 years. It's not gonna happen all at once.
Yeah.
No, so basically they can sell like what is it, like 200 million a week or a month or something like that, which is still a large amount.
Joe,
Yeah.
just walk me through CPI expectations relative to the print last month.
Tomorrow, the last print was 3.2. The expectations for this month are 3.6, and that Cleveland
Oh,
Fed
wow.
they predict CPI. They're predicting, I think it's they're predicting 3.8, so 0.2 higher than the actual official forecast. So yeah, it should be pretty high. But
Wow.
Yeah, and
market knows.
the other thing that they're not taking into account with that scenario is that even though their prediction is 3.6, the fact that their prediction is up from 3.2 is already an indication of a problem. So like
we know
even if it comes in at 3.6 as expected, that's still a big problem because it's higher than what was the previous one. So
Yeah, but this is the first time, you know, that's gonna happen. In last 9 readings, this is gonna be the first time when we have a higher CPI reading than the previous one. So we've had a
yeah, which
couple
is not great for combating inflation if they're
pauses,
now
so I
adjusting
think
it
it's
to be
okay.
higher.
Yeah.
Well, like fairness,
Like
was at 9%, went down to 3. It's like any chart, like does have to come back up a little bit. Can't just continuously go down.
If it goes
yeah,
up
for
to
sure. So it'll
4%
be
or
the question
maybe
of like
then
it'll be the question of what happens to the market. So if it goes back up to like 6 or 7, for example, and just puts in a lower high for chart perspective, then the impact that how that's going to react on the market based on what it is that they've already done and like the struggle that people are already feeling financially, if it ticks back up to those levels again, will be, yeah, I mean, like honestly, I think it'll be pretty damaging to the economy.
Yeah, I think so. I just think the overarching issue I have with this market is just those supply overhangs that we have. Through Mt. Gox, through the government actually still having to sell 2 or 3 tranches left this year. They still haven't started. We may think that one of them, because there was someone over the last couple of days relentlessly selling spot Bitcoin, but they still have to officially announce it. They did say they would. They've only sold 1 tranche. They've moved another one, still haven't officially sold, and they said they'd sell 4 tranches of 9K Bitcoin, and they still haven't. So there's just a few overhangs in the market.
They got a pretty big holding of Bitcoin, the government, from seizing all of those Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's
They've got
just the
a
one issue I have.
pretty big nest. So yeah, that is a problem as well. That's a big problem.
Sorry, I can see June came in at 3% and July 3.2. So that's, if that's right, so that's we've already had that incident, you know, where it's gone up a little bit, 0.2.
Yeah. So now we're going for 3.6. So I mean, honestly, the
is
best
there
case scenario.
Yeah, I see.
Best case scenario is it comes in lower.
Is there a Joe? Is there a expectation for next month that's out already, or is that only?
Yeah, the Cleveland Fed, they're expecting 3.8 again next month.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Sticky.
But it's probably a decent sign. Like they're not expecting 4+. So, but obviously it's a month away, so you still have to let charts do their thing. You still have to let commodities do their thing. So you just don't know what's going to move, what's going to not move, which all of it affects CPI. So I wouldn't read too deeply into next month's prediction, but as of now,
I mean, honestly, like all things considered, like looking at commodity charts as well, like livestock is at all-time highs, sugar is at all-time highs, orange juice is at all-time highs. Like going into this next quarter through to Christmas, which is in the history of the world, the largest amount of consumer spending over the Christmas period, with everything already at expensive prices and not looking to slow down anytime soon. I think the worst of this market will be done coming into like January, February of next year. I don't see inflation slowing down at all towards the end of the year.
Fair. I think there's definitely a show tomorrow, so we'll save the inflation